Couple more chickens, trying to get fat before this Arctic blast comes in. It is currently 57 degrees here in southeast Texas, and it is rather warm. I'm out here sweating, getting prepared. Got a few things I need to do to get ready for this Arctic blast that's supposed to be blowing through. So we're gonna let the chickens free range until this afternoon around 4 p.m. when the winds are supposed to start blowing in this cold air. And then we'll get them housed up and tidied up for the next couple days to stay prepared for this cold weather. All right, folks, Nathan from KBL Texas Homestead, and welcome back to the channel. Today video is gonna be winterization. We're gonna go around the house and winterize our pipes, get them ready for a cold front we've got coming in, as well as secure chickens and ducks in their coop, and go out to the pasture and visit with the cows, show you what I do with their waters and whatnot there, and then disconnecting all the hoses. So come along with us and let's go figure it out. Got a few pipes I need to cover up. Here's the main water supply coming into the bottom of the house. We're going to get that all wrapped up, winter tight, and ready to go. Alright, something else you would consider doing. I am going to, as you can see down in here, we have a protection pipe to keep the wind chill off of our pipes, as well as they're insulated down through there. But I will cover these nozzles. As a matter of fact, I will disconnect this Y and cover this faucet up completely. It will drain all the hoses. That is an important part to do that some people may forget about. You want to disconnect your hoses and drain them completely. Don't leave them hooked up like this and full of water, because what happens is the water will freeze in here, and then you end up busting all of your fittings and your connections here, and they bust, and then when things thaw out and you go to use it, there'll be water spraying out of that connection because it's expanded and busted the seal or busted the metal or whatever the case may be. So make sure you drain your hoses and disconnect them. Disconnect them from the faucets and cover your faucets, and that'll ensure that they don't bust and you're usable for when you need them again. We can do a quick rundown with this, but here is an outside spigot that I use to water all the birds. We've got that completely taped up, secured. I've got the hose disconnected. I actually disconnected that three-way. I've opened both of them to make sure the hose going out to the pasture and then the hose connecting to this reel has drained. Hose is open-ended, so it will drain. Alright, I've got this spigot in the front of the house, winterized up. I've got all the insulation on it, and I actually couldn't disconnect this end. This is aluminum fitting, and it is just stuck on that, and I was putting some pretty good force to it, couldn't get it to budge. I don't want to break that right now, so I just left it connected, but I disconnected the other end of it. It is open-ended. Took my spray nozzle off of it, so the hose was able to drain. Shouldn't have no issues there. And we've got that water line completely insulated up. That's one of my mains that comes out of the ground and feeds the restroom that's behind that wall. So we got that taken care of. I've got this spigot on the opposite end of the house. I've disconnected the hose. It's right there, open-ended. Got it completely insulated and covered up. Disconnected this end, which was our little sprayer to water plants. It is disconnected and open-ended right here. So the hoses have been drained. I shouldn't have no issues there. Got the ducks enjoying this sun before the winds come. And they'll be housed with the chickens later this afternoon, so we can get ready for this cold weather coming. Alright, we've got our heat lamps set up in the chicken coop for the chickens. That way they get nice and warm and toasty. This evening when this cold weather comes in, I'm going to set up another one over here in this corner for the ducks. We'll close this door off, and I'm actually going to get the ducks and put them in here. So they'll be in with the chickens for the next couple days, just staying warm. Then we'll have to do a good clean out of this once all this weather passes. I'm going to cover up these windows to keep any major air from being able to blow through, and as well as these back windows. I'm getting all the chickens situated. We've got their water filled up, and we're going to put it in their chicken coop. That way they have plenty of water. I've got this water filled up, and it's good to go. We've got that water filled up and it's good to go. I see the feed bin has been left open and they're in there, so let's close that up. Y'all get out of there. Yes. This evening. That way they're nice and full, help keep. Alright folks, here it is. So we just kept it simple. I've got some cardboard that we had laying around. Got a good old snack food, good old drink food, some trash bag, and then some feed sacks that I had sitting in the feed shed. So we covered up that window. We got it all nice and tight. We've got the two cords here you see connected. Those are two heat lamps, one in each corner. Hopefully one for the chickens, one for the ducks, but however they decide to congregate and stay warm, that's up to them. We'll let them figure that out. But they are in there and ready for this cold weather. I'll open up this door. We still have access to open these doors. You can see here they're hanging out. There's the chickens. Ducks are kind of all together over there. You got one heat lamp on this corner. We got one heat lamp on this corner. Everything is looking good. So I've got the two heat lamps. As you can see, this is not a completely hole proof coop, so there's plenty of ventilation for excess heat to escape up here on the ridge that is open to the atmosphere, so heat can go up, rise up, and head out. So we've got plenty of wind blockage as well as plenty of ventilation, so it can't, you know, get too hot in here, which I don't think we're gonna have that problem. But in the event that these lights put out too much heat, the heat is able to escape, so that won't be an issue. I've covered up the windows the same with I used feed bags on those windows from the outside, so they're taped up and secured so no major wind can blow through there. And this is where the ducks and the chickens are gonna house for the next 3 days for sure, before the temperatures start warming up again, and we'll feel good about letting them out. We are going to keep them completely cooped up, unless we're out here and the sun happens to come out and it's a nice day, then I'll let them loose. But it is a pain trying to catch all the ducks, especially to get them in here, so they may just stay in here. I'll bring food and water in here and feed and water them in here, and then pull it out and call it an evening every evening for them. So this is where they'll be. Alright, just to show you this side of the coop, we got the feed bag covering up that window, another feed bag over there covering up that window. The door to the coop is closed. There's the wall, so everything is blocked from major wind blow, which would create wind chill and could possibly freeze our birds. So I think they're well protected in there with the heat lamps. That'll keep them warm, and they're ready to winter this little storm. Alright, I want to take a minute to describe these two items here I used in today's video. This Stanley aircraft aluminum stapler and the Aero brand staples. This is what I used to secure all the cardboard and feed bags to the windows of the chicken coop to make sure they were airtight. So again, this is Stanley aluminum aircraft stapler, and it takes a T50 staple from Aero that are made for Stanley staplers. Alright, we're back here checking on the cows, and as you can see, they're all coming from the back, walking this way, seeing what I'm up to. But we're headed out here. Look at them playing. What are y'all doing? Goats are on the move. Everybody's just running ahead of this cold weather. The goats are on a sprint to get out of their way. They just come freely in between pastures underneath them gates. Hey guys, what y'all doing? Everybody at attention, trying to see what I'm doing. The whole reason we're here though is to come fill up their water. So as you can see, they're pretty topped off. This one is about 3/4 full. This one here is about 1/4 full. So we'll go ahead and fill them up, top them off, and hope that we don't lose water. But in the event that we do, these will just have a frozen layer on top. We'll come and bust off the ice, and then they'll have fresh drinking water again. The old butcher block. Chickens are hanging around the butcher block hoping for a grub or two to fall out of the tree or whatever insect may be in there. They know I'm chopping wood. There's another one back there hanging out. Alright, another thing you want to do is make sure you have plenty of firewood, whether you run off electricity or not. You know, in these events, if you lose electricity, you got to have a way to heat up a section of your house to stay warm. So we've got plenty of firewood stacked up, ready to go, but it's protected under our cover here, so it'll keep rain, sleet, snow, anything from getting to it and creating that moisture and getting it wet, so it'll stay nice and dry. It's right here by our back door, so it's easily accessible. We can step out, grab what we need, take it back in, throw it in the fireplace, and keep warm. Alright folks, that concludes today's video. Hope you liked it. It's just a little bit of things that I've got to do here around the house in southeast Texas to winterize it, get it ready for these cold fronts. We typically don't get this cold, but this one is going to be a pretty good cold front. We're going to get down in the teens, which don't happen a lot down here again in southeast Texas. So some things we got to prepare: animals, water, water pipes to the house, hoses, whatnot. So thank you for coming along and looking at that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe it'll help you out, maybe it won't, but nonetheless, till next time.